Hey, this is Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion with the Detroit Red Wings. You're listening to Out of Bounds, Detroit Sports on sportsradiodetroit.com.
sportsradiodetroit.com.
We don't need TV to entertain us. He said anus.
They're 7-4. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
This is the team that at one point traded for Tim Tebow to make him a tight end. So we'll see what their kinds of a tight end is.
Don't know what a tight end is.
They don't.
Lady cops. Hot or not?
How big are the cans?
When they're wearing their uniforms, it's kind of a hide-a-rack situation, right?
Dan was really depressed about the game on Saturday. He went out, got some ruckus.
Had some trouble. I met a lady cop. I was drunk and disorderly, nude.
Drunk and Disorderly, the story of an Irish sports fan, coming this fall.
Oh yeah, welcome. Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. We are finally back with David Faze, Geoff Mell, and myself, Dan Griffin, invading your ear hole, as always, on sportsradiodetroit.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever the hell you listen to podcasts. It's weird, gentlemen. It's a day where I'm not in the best of moods, but I'm amped up. It's been a while since we've been here. Killer's Christmas. We're not on Facebook Live, and so I can just cut loose.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Mother Nature's a twat.
A little bit, yeah.
Geoff got in an argument with Hulu.
That wasn't fun. Took me forever.
It's just that time of year. That's why it's like, okay, why do people get upset with people who are Scrooges? I think Scrooges have it right. Shit just goes down during the holidays, dude.
Yeah, I'm sort of a Scrooge.
I am a little bit too.
Just because the holidays make people crazy, man. People go crazy.
And then you get hit with it, and then you get dumped on by 12 inches of goddamn snow.
Like the stress to fun ratio in the holidays is like 10-1. Like there's like 10, the percentage of like 90% stress for that 10% of fun and relaxation on Christmas and Christmas Eve and the New Year. You
know what? I think I might know what my new favorite day of the year is. You know what that day is?
What?
December 26th.
The day after Christmas?
Because do you ever notice how like...
I feel like the pressure of New Year's Eve is still there as well.
Wait a minute, but you get that calm, right?
It's like you get to sigh. Yeah, it's over. You get to sigh that it's over.
It's over. I don't have to watch Uncle Ned get hammered and beat his wife in front of all of us anymore.
Yeah, look, I think my favorite as I've gotten older, partially because it's so close to my birthday, but it's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I think, is the best holiday because there's no pressure. You just go to your families, you eat a bunch of food. You don't have to get anybody presents.
You get drink and watch football.
You can drink
you
and
get
watch.
Drink, you get drunk. I think is what I meant to say.
You get to drink and watch football, and
you get that drink.
The day.
Oh, Dave's here.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
I mean, you guys are having your thing. I'm letting it go.
Yeah, but Dave, you're getting into that time of your life where Christmas is going to be everything for you.
Yeah,
right. You've been married for a little while now.
Yeah,
you're going to take a big trip to Europe.
Are you hosting Christmas?
And
yet?
then you're going to make babies.
Eventually, Dave will be hosting Christmas.
Oh yes.
Well,
that day is not far from now.
No, you have to get put in the rotation with the family. Yeah. That's just the way it works.
He's married.
That's the thing.
He has a house.
You know what? There's two types of families. There's the family that has the Christmas at the same place every year.
Yeah.
And then there's the type of family that rotates it.
I rotate.
Which one's evil?
My family rotates.
Yeah, you guys are both evil because
we're both rotators.
We always have it at Granny's house.
There's we
don't want her to get run over by a reindeer.
The options are not the options are definitely not like there's a bunch of options. There's only like 3 options. So it's not like the rotation is too crazy. I just think it's whoever feels like hosting.
Well,
plus everybody's grown and moved away.
This is the first year that Christmas or Christmas Eve is going to be hosted at one of the, one of the cousins' houses, the kids' houses, as opposed to the
It's a Festivus miracle.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, and that's and the cousin whose house it's going to be at, they've been married three years longer than us, and this is the first time they're hosting it. So,
all right.
I don't know if we're going to be vacation starting next year, but it's going to come soon.
You might have a little.
Is Kristen counting?
leeway.
Is Kristen counting it down?
Counting what down?
Is she counting down her odds to being inserted into the rotation?
No.
Have you officially made it in the family? When you it's like it's the mob.
I got a long.
when you've finally been put into the Christmas rotation.
I got a long bet. I bet that the year Dave hosts Christmas first is the year that they have a baby. Whenever the baby comes, that Christmas will be the first year they host.
Well, to be honest with you, it'll be easier to just have it there and not have to take the.
That's why I'm making that prediction.
Knowing Dave's luck, there's triplets coming.
Oh God.
Yeah,
doesn't there usually some sort of history of that in families?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, the odds.
We don't really have that much.
The odds
on either side.
The odds of me having twins is astronomical, more than either of you, because twins is a skip a generation type thing. And both of Alex's parents are twins. Both of them.
Is this a baby shower or a sports talk show?
We're grown men now.
What the hell is this?
Sometimes.
How old are we?
We're
talking about wives going off to baby showers and having triplets.
We're old. All right, we're old, Dan.
Grow up, Dan.
I'm a 30-year-old man. I'm just nowhere but down from here.
It's supposed to be a 30. You're a 30-year-old boy, Jeff Mel.
Yeah, I'm straddling the line. That's for sure.
Straddling something.
God, Dave.
It's open-ended.
This is how I wanted to open the show.
No, tell us how you wanted to open the show.
I wanted to open the show asking you guys why the fuck we still do a sports talk show in the city of Detroit.
I don't know. It's a really good question.
I mean, we just had grandma granddaughter power hour here.
It's
with
because
the conversation.
we provide a relative sense of therapy.
I was going to say, please don't say valuable service.
No, we provide a sense of therapy for the people,
for entertainment,
as we
try to be
hash out things here on this show, and it makes people feel better about it.
Other people think like you guys.
Happy Festivus, everyone!
Other people think this city sucks right now too, and that's why we're talking about it.
That's why I'm in a bad mood today. I'm in a bad mood, but I'm ready to go.
Fired up.
I got 3.5. I had a 3.5 hour commute home last night on a 45-minute drive.
I was gonna say, where are you coming from? Cleveland?
I mean, I would rather have had a nice drive home from Cleveland than what I experienced last. I swear to God, every road going north, I'm like, all I need to do is get north so I can get home. I just got to get north. And every fucking road I'm on, there's some asshole stuck by the side of the road, and because they don't know how to fucking drive in this shit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then there's just a 20-minute backup. So let's take a right here and try to go north this way. Nope! Take a right here, try to go north this way. Nope! I could go east until I hit the fucking St. Clair River, but I could not get one block north last night.
That sucks.
I was perturbed.
It sounds like it.
I almost slept in my car.
You know how you know how slow going that drive was for Dan? The fact that he actually made a Facebook post
more than anything that I've ever fucked before.
During the course of that drive, which means he was stopped
somewhere
for umpteenth million time, because we all know that Dan does not Facebook while he drives.
No.
So the fact that he
barely Facebooks. Period.
This is true.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
So
you knew it was bad.
Yeah. I needed somebody to talk to.
My work. Luckily,
I couldn't do it.
My work let us out at 2:15 so that we could get home before the shit hit the fan. The proverbial shit.
Oh, please tell me more.
It was wonderful. I was home in 20 minutes. There's nobody on the road.
I got home about 3:40.
I got to
3:45,
make some
3:50,
dinner.
somewhere in there.
Blow.
Good night, everybody.
Blow some snow.
You did what? No, I'm just kidding.
Blew the snow, Dave.
Oh, Snow. That's the name of that male stripper he was seeing for a while.
Funny thing was, Snow was actually a Puerto Rican man.
See, we don't need to do a sports show in this town anymore.
I mean, what are you going to talk about? Wings are bad, Pistons are mediocre, Lions are the Lions.
That's what I'm saying.
And the Tigers are just in fire sale
We had a chance to, what was it, a couple weeks ago? A year and a half ago, the last time we actually did a show, we could actually sit here and be a little bit excited about the Pistons for a minute. They looked okay.
I think you can still be excited.
I haven't soured on the Pistons yet.
Yeah, I still think they're a playoff team in the East. It was really disappointing to watch that skid.
Oh, they're a playoff team. Yay!
That's all I can ask for. That's all I asked for when they were playing 14-7 basketball.
That was a really here's the glass half full scenario. The glass half full.
Oh, you reckon the
viewpoint.
glass half full, David Hayes?
Yeah. I mean, if it's a glass of bourbon, I like it half full. I don't need it full. I don't need it totally full.
Because I'm going to check the tape, but I'm pretty sure Dave said glass half full the first time he said it.
I thought you just turned into a stereotypical Asian man.
I did, but
yeah.
I don't want to get booted off the air.
It's not the worst thing that's happened on this show. Let's be honest.
By what? Net neutrality?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we're gone.
It's not a sports show anymore.
No, but
we're pretty much ready to go here with this podcast.
that made me lose my train of thought.
Podcast.
Because you glass half full, and then I don't know. Now I don't know what's happening.
The
anymore.
Pistons.
About the
Before the streak of losing.
Oh, thank you.
Before net neutrality.
Somebody's doing
Playoffs.
something. I was going to say that it's the glass half full scenario is that they played so well leading up to that even though they lost 7 in a row,
Not
6 in a row, 7 in a
my
row,
problem.
they still were a game above 500 because they had given themselves such a nice cushion. That's a positive. And it was a really tough stretch. Did I like seeing them lose 7 in a row? Absolutely not.
Great, but water found its level, and
I don't think that's true.
They're not any better than we thought they were going to be.
I don't think that's true.
Okay. I mean, I think I don't. It's like I was telling Jeff before you got here. I don't think they were as good as 14-6 or whatever they were, 13-6. But I don't think there was
14-6.
But I don't think they're as bad as 0-7. Right? I think it's somewhere in the fucking middle, and that's kind of exactly where I always kind of thought they were.
I just think it was a tough run in the schedule, but also it's like you got to win like 2 of those games, 2 of the 7. You know, you got to pick up a win here or there.
That's the problem with losing
I just
streaks.
realized I don't have a beer.
They
seem
to snowball.
They're going to win tonight. I mean, they're blowing out the
blowing
Hawks
them out,
as we speak.
You better blow out the Hawks. They're the worst team in the league.
So,
I will tell you right now. For me, the worst game of this whole.
Piston fans up on your feet!
And it's not. I mean, it's really not even that arguable. Is the game the other night against Denver? That was the worst one of the streaks.
yeah, I think
It's awful.
to set it off with Washington and to end it with Denver.
Washington was rough.
Those were the only 2 games that got out of hand.
Yeah.
The rest of them were all close, tight games.
And the reason the Washington one
4
was a
minutes
little
left in the
disheartening is
fourth.
because you had been playing such good basketball, and then you just laid an absolute egg.
Yeah, but then-
but I passed that one off and said, okay, it happens, whatever. And then it just started this awful streak. But like you said, other than the 2 bookends of it, all the other games were really close.
Yeah, they were tight against Golden State. They were tight against Boston.
I'll tell you what, dude. Me and Kristen and Sam were at that Boston game on Sunday. That was every way, shape, or form, all the way around for both teams was a ugly freaking basketball game until basically the last 4.5 minutes of the game. It was terrible basketball. I mean, look, the fact that the Pistons going into the fourth quarter, I think, had 68 points.
Yeah.
And I was like, me and Sam's like, they're going to be lucky. If they get to 80, that'll be wonderful because that's about how they've played today. And I think they wound up at 81. And they lost by 10. But the fact that they were actually in a game going into the fourth quarter down 6, or with only 68 points, tells me that Boston didn't play much better. It was a bad basketball game.
Yeah.
So, I find this 0-7 streak slightly more disconcerting, and that's because this was a team, the way they started, where it's like, they almost kind of got me to buy in. They almost kind of got me to buy in early. But what did I say? I said, keep this up or something close to this. Get me to Christmas. So what happens a week before Christmas? Whatever, 2 weeks before Christmas, whatever it was.
Well, now they're coming. Now they're coming to a stretch where I think their combined record or the combined winning percentage of the teams they're going to play is like 410. So they're going into a stretch where they should reel off some wins again.
So, but what I was hoping that we were going to see is I was hoping for that miracle, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this team's really, really good. Maybe this team's really, really good. Maybe it's an outside-the-box team that's got a shot to compete.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just like now I'm kind of like, they're just another middle-of-the-pack team that's going to be better than a lot of teams, but a lot worse than a lot of teams, and they're going to, finish 6th, 7th, 8th in the East and get bombed in the first round.
I don't think they're going to finish that low. I really don't.
You're very optimistic, David Faze. Where is that delightful Dave drop?
They had
look at the East and tell me why you think they can't finish 4th or 5th.
I mean, I suppose they could.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
those 3 teams ahead of them are going to be vastly superior to them.
I disagree with that.
Who's going to be vastly superior to them? Obviously, we've got Cleveland. We've got Boston.
I don't think Boston is vastly superior. They would be vastly superior if they had
I think
Gordon
they.
Hayward.
I think that's one of those weird matchups where Boston,
In a 7-game series?
I think
You didn't
Celtics in 6 at most.
You didn't ask if I thought Boston would beat them in a series. That's not the question. It's are they far superior? And I do not think they're far superior. You can win a series in 6 games and not be a far superior team. If you win every game by 3 points and you happen to go 4-2 in the series, does that really mean you're far superior? Because I don't think so.
I guess just, what does it mean? What does it mean if this team goes to the playoffs and say they lose a close series in 6 to the Celtics? The Celtics, you'll admit that the Celtics are better than them.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
They're definitely better than them.
I feel like that's one of those weird matchups that
I think Milwaukee's better than them.
I don't.
I think they're pretty close.
They got to figure out the Bledsoe issue. For
Well,
sure.
he's been better.
He's been better.
And
They got to figure that out. Once they figure that out, I think they're going to be fine.
I think Milwaukee and Detroit are very similar basketball teams right now.
I just can't say that because I think Giannis 3 years from now is going to be the best team, best player in the world.
Still can't shoot.
I think he's he's my favorite player, first of all, so maybe I'm a little biased. But I think this guy he's the next superstar. Right?
By the way, what is it up? What is up with? And I agree with you. Giannis is amazing, but what is up with some of the premier players in the league being guys that have a very big struggle with one of the most fundamental parts of basketball, which is shooting the ball? Giannis, Russell Westbrook. I don't think that Harden's a volume shooter, so he gets his points.
No,
but
Harden's
he's a better shooter.
He's a good shooter, though.
But
because I think the NBA has kind of changed a bit over the last decade or so in that I think a lot of the best players in the game are guys that are going to be an incredible rim presence.
yeah.
So they pull extra defenders on the way to the rim, and shooting has become more of a specialty thing that you do.
I would say this.
Plus Giannis is such a game changer on the defensive end.
He's a game changer on every other facet of the game.
So
yeah.
that it just all.
I got to go get another beer.
I would argue,
Bring
actually,
me one of those.
that
One of these?
I don't care. Whatever.
I would argue that Giannis, because I think he's averaging somewhere around like 27, 28 right now, something like that, points per game. I would argue that if Giannis could be a consistent like 38 to 40% 3-point shooter and have a field goal percentage anywhere between 45 and 50, which his field goal percentage might not be bad because he gets to the rim so much. He could average almost 40 points a game. He really could. If he had the ability to shoot. Now, I'm not saying that you need to do that. I think averaging 28 points a game is pretty goddamn good and is just fine. You'll live with that all day long. But I'm just making the point that Giannis is such a special talent. If he could shoot the ball consistently, he could average nearly 40 points a game. I really believe that.
Yeah.
Because he does everything else.
I think when it comes to Detroit, I think with Boston especially, the Pistons are one of those weird teams that just matches up well with them.
I agree.
Like, they can't hang with Andre Drummond when Andre Drummond's playing well.
Do you know why?
And the last game they played, they hacked and whacked that guy all game long. He didn't score a point till like the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But it was not because of not trying. I mean, he was trying hard, and they weren't giving him anything. The refs weren't giving him anything. So he really was it was free hack and whack on Andre Drummond.
Well, it was funny. It's funny, too, because when you mentioned that, it's 100% Drummond kind of... The stat sheet from the other night is a bit misleading, but yeah, Drummond kind of basically controls the paint against Boston. Basically, They either have Horford at center, and I think they've realized now they can't do that because Horford just gets absolutely demolished by Drummond. He's got no answer.
Offensively, he does get out on the edges on Drummond, and
that
causes a problem.
A little bit, but really, they didn't have Drummond guarding Horford very much. They kind of had Tobias covering him, and he ate Tobias up pretty good. But Aaron Baines is a decent defender. He was actually, I shouldn't say decent. He's actually a very good low post defender. But it's kind of a hodgepodge because even though Baines is good on the defensive end, she's so atrocious on the offensive end. There was a play, and I've seen it over and over again. Somebody made like one of those repeating 3-second gifs of Drummond when Baines is about to shoot a three. It just was like late in the shot clock.
And he just waves him off.
Drummond just goes, yeah, he does. He like looks over and realizes it's Baines. Doesn't even go out. He just goes, whatever.
Just waves his hand at him.
It was such disrespect, but it was beautiful. Because he's like, go for it.
And he missed it.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another thing too. That's been this Pistons struggle, and that is the fact that Stanley Johnson was playing above his head, I think, for a good majority of that stretch. And of the winning stretch is what I'm saying. And I think in this 0-7 stretch, I think is a little bit closer to what Stanley Johnson actually is going to be as an NBA player. Is he going to be this bad offensively? I really hope not, because he won't be in the league very long.
No.
But this is what I have always kind of thought Stanley was. I just don't think he's that good of a player. And I was telling Jeff before you got here, Dave, now, hindsight being 2020, would I have included Stanley Johnson in a deal for Eric Bledsoe right now? Fuck yes, I would have. Yeah. In a second, I would have.
Here's the problem with Stanley is
he's just not good. He's not that good.
There's something that Stanley won't do, and I don't know why.
By the way, this price tag says $69.99. I really hope I didn't pay that much.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, you better check that tab.
This is a beer, and there's one beer can with a $69.99 price tag on it.
Unbelievable. I would really hope that the guy plugging in the price tag or plugging in the price in the machine wouldn't be.
I'm going to check my bank account right now.
$12 a beer.
Dan's broke now.
$12 a can.
But no, Stanley will not. He seems to have a fear of driving to the hoop, and I don't know why. He's not a small person. He won't take the ball to the hoop, which I think is where he's going to have a better chance of making some shots.
He's not a
shooter.
He won't drive. He can't shoot. He's an okay defender.
He's never been a shooter. He's actually a pretty good defender, to be honest. But you lose that when the offensive problems are so apparent. Yeah. You lose the
offensively, it's 4-on-5.
Yeah, you lose the fact that he's a good defender.
Stan comes in at the beginning of the year. Everybody's going to touch the ball, and it was working really, really well for about 20 games. All I needed this team to do was get me to Christmas, and they couldn't do it. And now I'm sitting here. I'm upset. Mother Nature's a twat. It's not just about the Pistons. I think I'm most upset about the Pistons because that was the one team that I was like, hey, maybe this will be a little bit fun for a while, even if it tapers off maybe at the middle of the year or towards the end of the year, or they have a nice year, get a 3 seed, and get bombed in the second round of the playoffs. That's kind of what I was hoping for. That's all I was hoping for.
Yeah.
That's so sad that that's what I was hoping for when you consider the recent history of this city. And
well, I mean,
the sports that we've had.
You set your sights low. We've seen your girlfriends.
Oh,
God.
Dave.
By the way, you've seen one.
Dave's practicing jokes.
No, actually, I physically, yes, I've seen one. I've seen other ones that you've shown me before. That was a low blow. I apologize. I just feel bad about it. It was mean. It was mean.
Don't be so nice.
It was mean.
You ruined it.
I was just going to say, like, after all the shit we've given you for liking fat chicks on this show, and you're going to come and you're going to apologize to me for one little
It's
thing.
not in me.
You have an ugly girlfriend.
It's not in me. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
All right.
You're the best human being on earth, David Faze. There's no better man than this one.
I'll give you the Pistons' upcoming schedule.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they don't play anybody that's really great.
The Pacers, the Magic.
The Pacers are better than I thought they'd be.
Yeah,
you
they are.
Still beat them.
That's the best team in the next.
Magic aren't
4.
great.
Pacers, Magic, Mavericks, and Knicks.
Is that at the Knicks?
And then Pacers, then the Magic, then you go to the, and then you have a home game against the Spurs.
What is this shit? They're just flip flop. And so is that a home and home or something? One's away, and one's home. I'm guessing.
Away and home.
This is stuff that should be left for show meetings.
A home and away.
Why?
Because we always have them during the show.
That's our thing.
I'm just giving you the schedule.
I don't think people
they have a favorable schedule
Weren't we
to get
talking
back
about
on
this
track.
right before we started the show about how we don't prep for this show at all?
I mean, we do in our own way, but it's not.
I take down like a page worth of notes, drive the show, and we just fucking go.
Yeah.
We just do our deal. I think people underestimate the amount of prep we actually do, or maybe they don't. I don't know. Or I should say overestimate.
Overestimate.
Did I say underestimate? I meant to say overestimate.
We know what we're doing here.
Do we?
Kind of.
Because I was just going to move on.
You can move on.
I mean, I was going to move on to kind of the same thing.
Oh. Whatever you want to do, Dan.
Just about the other 3 teams in this town that I'm wondering why we still do. Whoa, that one came out of nowhere.
Whoa, guy.
Like Barney from The Simpsons. Why we still do a show in this town? The Lions are who we thought they were, right?
Yeah.
There you go, Denny Green.
I got 3 to go. Playoffs.
You bought in.
Still available. They got a lot worse over time. They got worse. They started well, and then they got worse over time.
Gee, it's almost like they don't have a coach.
Oh my God.
Wow. That reminds me of the tweet that you put out earlier, Geoff, when you retweeted Dave Burkett's tweet.
Yes, favorite movie.
I swear if I saw him on the street without an entourage, I would want to punch him in the. He is the most unlikable human being within a 500-mile radius of this town.
He has an entourage?
Here's the tweet. What? Here's the tweet. Jim Caldwell asked about his favorite movie, said he cares not to share because he doesn't want it to be misunderstood and doesn't want to explain it.
What are you talking about?
What movie could it possibly be? What movie could it possibly be?
Is he like some Nazi propaganda film?
Phantom of the Opera.
That people couldn't wrap their mind around the concept or why he would like that film. What film could it be?
I know. I got it.
It's Backdoor Sluts 9.
No,
Backdoor Sluts 9?
I think it's Geely.
Yeah, I saw somebody. It's a beautiful.
The Room?
Yeah, it's a beautiful film.
No, I could actually get on board with that. I would be fine with that.
Just something like super chick flicky, you know? Just
Yeah.
something really bad.
What?
P.S. I love you.
Well, wait a minute. What was the other question Dave asked him?
He asked him, what his favorite holiday Christmas song was.
No one in particular.
Yeah, he said, "What? Do you have a favorite Christmas song?" No. What's your after game meal? Nothing in particular.
So, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I to understand that you literally cannot ask Jim Caldwell any question at all and get even a semi-coherent answer from this man? Like, you can't. Dave Burkett can't walk into that room in fucking Allen Park and ask him a legitimate football question and get an answer. Now he can't. It's almost like Dave was trolling him.
Yeah,
isn't it a little
it's
bit
weird?
I almost want to get Dave on the horn right now because. It's almost like Burkett was trolling. He's like, he's asking him all these softball questions.
Yeah.
It's almost as if to say, "You're an asshole.
Yeah,
you won't answer any questions."
Yes, exactly.
Is my face red because I could feel some pressure in my
surprised
head
you
right
didn't
now.
say check the report.
Jesus,
What's your favorite movie?
Who are you?
Check the report.
Who are you, Scrooge
He's
McDuck?
not a human. He's not a human being.
Oh my God!
Like-
I guarantee you that Jim Caldwell is the type of human being. We all know he's a pretty religious guy, right? I guarantee you he's the type of human being that believes that sex is only to procreate. I could just see that, like Jim, like he oh my God! I could just imagine his O face. I don't know if he has one.
Maybe his favorite film is like Passion of the Christ or something.
Oh, that's probably right, Jeff.
Yeah. See, and that's why he doesn't want to explain it because he's so religious.
Oh my God! He probably thinks having an orgasm is a sin. I'm just saying.
He might.
Like the man. I mean, I know the man has children, so I know he's had sex. But did he enjoy it?
Or maybe not.
For that matter, did his wife enjoy it?
I don't know. There's nothing. I mean, he's a fucking android.
What kind of lubricant do you use, Jim? We know you won't tell us.
He's a robot, man.
Coconut oil.
Guy puts 9 guys on the field. Then
Criticism doesn't bother us.
then tells the players not to talk about it. Like, what the fuck is going on? There's no way he. Okay, now that we know.
Oh, shut up, you.
We found this out since we did a show last. Mm-hmm. That his deal is only for 1 year.
That's true. I forgot to write that in my notes, so thank you for bringing that up.
His extension is only for 1 year, which is what, a team option? Is that what that is? Is that a coach with a team option? A 5th-year team option with a coach?
Was that bare minimum for Martha? She had to have something?
It was like, we don't want... Okay, it was like...
I love Jim Caldwell.
We don't want you to be a lame duck if you have a successful season, but we also don't want to be fucking stuck with you. That's what that tells me. It means you have an out, which actually genius move, Bob Quinn. Genius move.
I just can't even.
Because he's not a lame duck because he has a 1 year extension. If he has a good year and you feel like the year went the way you wanted it to, as Bob Quinn, let's say, where you feel that he did a really good job coaching and the reasons why you were successful was partially because of him and not in spite of him, then you got to keep him. But if he comes out and this team meanders and can't win a game by more than 3 points.
But here's why it's curious.
Wait, I just thought of something, you guys.
Okay.
I think Jim Caldwell is LeVar Ball's conscience.
Wait a minute.
How high are you?
No. Hold on.
This.
Because LeVar Ball says everything, and Jim Caldwell says nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
know
honestly,
what I'm saying?
Jim Caldwell is starting to be like Jim Caldwell's personality.
Okay, maybe not conscious. It's LeVar Ball's alternate personality.
Like he's saying less than like Belichick or Pop. Like they both say more. Like if you ask them a human question, they might give you an answer.
Who's this?
The balls.
Pop or Belichick?
They would. No, I think they would.
What do you think?
Human
What do you think Belichick's favorite Christmas movie is?
Christmas Story.
Christmas Carol.
I think my favorite movie is Bad Santa.
I like
Billy Bob Thornton.
I'm a big fan of Scrooge.
I'm a big Bill Murray.
Really bad vocal fry.
I'm a big Bill Murray fan.
This is really bad vocal fry. Big Bill.
High quality audio.
You're really pushing your voice on that one.
I'm not.
But yeah, 7-6.
Trying to just
3 games left to go, including a
Christmas movie, isn't it?
fight with Aaron Rodgers. Still have a chance to make the playoffs. Lord knows how.
Do they?
Yeah. Mathematically, they're still in it.
No, this is exactly what's going to happen. This team's going to go out and it's going to win the next 2 games.
Yeah, and
then Aaron Rodgers is going to kill your fucking dreams again.
Yeah, exactly.
At your place.
Yes, at your place.
We've
last game of the season.
Seen this movie before.
Yes, last game of the season. Get in the playoffs, you win. If you win, you get in. And they're going to lose to Aaron Rodgers.
No.
And everyone is going to have their heart broken again.
Just see fans just jumping off the Ford Field
They're
roof.
not even going to beat Aaron Rodgers in Week 17. It's not going to matter. They're not going to beat.
That's the point, Dave. That's what we're saying. They're going to win the next 2.
Are you listening?
Oh, no. I thought you said get into the playoffs. And
no, that's
beat
going to
Aaron
be
Rodgers.
their win to get in
Gotcha.
against Aaron Rodgers.
Gotcha.
The last game of the season.
Win to get in. Win you're in, lose you're out.
Yeah.
I don't think they have not won to get in yet.
No, they can't. It's impossible. Actually, they did when they didn't have to in the last the last game of the year when they won 11-5.
Right.
Should we move on to the next team and why it's
They already had a
depressing?
playoff spot locked up at that point.
And why it's depressing?
Do we have any other teams?
Well, this one's not quite as depressing because honestly, I think it's the best one going on right now, and that's the Tigers finally kind of admitting they're in sell-off mode.
Yeah,
like officially admitting.
I don't know that was. I think we already knew that.
They're just going to suck so bad.
I think this one kind of. I think the Kinsler trade kind of made it official.
Yeah, they blew a bunch of money out of here so that they can literally go.
Can you believe how many people are pissed about this trade?
Did you guys see my tweet? By the way,
which one? We don't pay attention to your tweets.
I know most people don't. That's why I have like 4 followers.
That's more than I have.
Follow at David Faze.
You got to know how to spell Faze, and it's Faes.
David Faz, if that helps.
I think it's actually at D Faze. It's not even David Faze.
I don't know
I
what
don't
it
have
is.
my full name. I don't even know my own Twitter handle.
Anyway, what were you saying?
No, it's kind of piggybacking on your comment that it is outrageous how many people had problems. had problems with this, like. And the thing people were doing was they're basically shitting all over Al Avila, going like, "Oh, nice job, Al. You went and got a couple of nothing prospects for a really good second baseman." Look, man, do you understand? First, basically, every card on the table did not belong to the Tigers in this situation, and that's not Avila's fault. That's the case.
Do you not understand that this team is going to suck, and a 35-year-old second baseman does literally nothing for you?
No, it's not that people were pissed that they traded him. Is that they thought somehow,
they were
some way that they would get more. That's the market's not. That's not what the market bear. And here's the key, and this is the problem. People, I think, still in today's sports world, it's not something that's a new concept. But I still think people have this weird misnomer about what a no-trade clause does. It's a fucking no-trade clause. It's so that they can't be traded if they don't want to be traded.
No, but the player can agree to waive that no-trade clause.
That is correct.
Always.
That is correct. And my point is, but on the flip side of that, it is the player's prerogative. If you're trying to trade them to a team they don't want to agree to, and it's on their no-trade list, it is completely within their right to say, no, I'm not going to accept the trade to that team. That's what Kinsler did for the 3 other teams that were involved in any type of discussion. Said he would only go to the Angels. Al Avila said, okay, that's your right. We want to trade you, so that's where you're going to go. And actually, I think even getting 2 prospects instead of just 1 is actually a good deal.
Right. So what you're saying basically, Dave, is that if Kinsler doesn't have a no trade clause, maybe you get more for him.
Right. If he has no control over the situation, you can trade him wherever.
And you traded
You
for
can-
him with that contract.
Yeah, he already had the no trade clause
Correct.
coming
Yes.
here. And let's remember who they got rid of to get him in the first place.
I know.
So really,
A guy who's not even playing baseball anymore.
Greatest
so
trade ever.
Prince.
He's now the 4th highest paid player
So
on the
is-
team right
so
now,
is
by
Prince-
the way. Prince Fielder.
Oh, on the Tigers.
Yeah.
Well, see,
With all the deals that have been made.
that's the nice part, though, is if you're going to suck, right, and you owe Miguel Cabrera a ton of money for the foreseeable future,
Albatross.
it doesn't hurt you all that much to be paying him that much when you're not competing.
right.
Because you know you're not going to win anything. Even if you were to keep those players around that they just had, you're going to rebuild, but it doesn't hurt you because it's not like you're going to go out and sign anybody for a bunch of money.
Correct.
So you're not in the market. So it doesn't matter what you're paying him. As long as, down the road, you'll be able to get something, get rid of his contract somehow.
Yep.
But that's not going to happen. He's going to retire before his contract ends. He's probably got, 3 years left in reality of playing because he's hurt?
Unless he finishes his career like David Ortiz. I don't know that that's going to necessarily happen.
He's going to have to go to DH.
Look, his body's breaking down.
Yeah, he can't even hit 35 home runs anymore.
It is what it is. I mean, but this is what we knew, right? So Miggy gets that 10-year deal when he got it.
Yeah.
Oh God, we got him locked up forever, right? We were saying, I know we were saying this back then. I know we were.
Yeah.
This contract is going to piss people off at some point. I don't think we're there yet.
No.
I think a lot of people around here still love Miguel Cabrera.
And you have to still remember that he is sort of getting paid for what he already did.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, how old was he when he got the contract? 29?
Yeah, I think so.
He got a 10-year No, he was older than that. He was in his 30s.
He's going to be 41? When is it
At the end of it?
40? 40
At the end of it. So he was in his early 30s when he got that contract. You give a guy a 10-year deal when he's over 30?
He gave him that Albert Pujols special, basically.
You know what's going to happen at the end of that. If you don't recognize what's going to happen at the end of that contract, you don't have any right giving your opinion about what your baseball team is doing.
Yes.
You have to know that's the case.
So maybe 2-3 years down the road, when you got this thing kind of turned around and some of these prospects are working out and the team's pretty competitive,
And we were all for it.
Miguel Cabrera can, make $29 million and be a DH.
You hope.
You hope.
Well, this will be the last year that Miguel has that there's any type of a blockage at the DH spot with Victor.
Yeah, Victor's
career.
Victor
Victor's
might
contract
be gone
is-
before the end of this year anyway.
I don't. Well, let's put it this way: if I would be ecstatic if Victor comes back and has a good first half, and they can fucking deal him to somebody. Because if Victor comes back and is healthy enough and has a good first half, there's gonna be a contender that would love to grab him.
Trade
And that
for
would
a
be
bag of
that would be a
potatoes.
dream come true for Avila and the Tigers.
Just to get something
To get
for
something
him.
for
A
him.
bag of potatoes. That's all I want.
As long as the Redskins,
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Well,
Yes.
don't be
Oh,
racist,
God, some
Dave.
smashed Redskins sounds so
Fantastic.
Don't be racist about-
Garlic smash Redskins.
good. I am racist. I'm very
You
racist
don't have to
about my
call- You
potatoes.
don't have to call them Redskin potatoes. You call them Red Hawk potatoes.
Are you serious? Is that a thing?
Oh, just fuck with you.
Oh my God! I thought you were being serious.
You saw the whole Redskin Red Hawk thing, right?
but I actually thought you were going to go the opposite way with that. I thought you were going to say, don't call them Redskin potatoes, call them Native American
What
potatoes.
is? Somebody wants to change their name.
There
to
was
the
an
Red Hawk?
internet. There was this.
The football team.
Yeah, there was an internet meme prank that said the Redskins are changing their name to the Red Hawks, and it went so far as to where the Redskins actually had to put out a press release saying no, we're still the Washington Redskins. We're not changing it to Red Hawks. And somebody made a mock-up helmet and the whole deal.
Isn't it amazing how that whole deal kind of died off?
Yeah, kind of.
Not really talking
People
about
have
it
so
anymore.
many other things to social justice
Donald
warrior
Trump
about.
became president.
They got all kinds of things to pound their chest about.
I always thought the solution was very simple for the Redskins. Change your name to the Washington Natives. It's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
It's not a disrespectful name. You keep the logo, you keep the colors, you keep everything. Washington Natives. I think I would. I like.
Yeah.
Does that name not sound decent?
Yeah, I like it.
It's more respectful. Like the Seminoles, right? Florida State. The Seminole tribe supports the shit out of the the Florida State Seminoles. They see it as a point of pride because it's just the name of the tribe. Like Redskins, yep, sounds like a little bit of a derogatory term.
Yeah.
I could get behind people that think that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Quick fix, Washington natives.
Yep.
I'm saying it
This is the most I'll think about it for the rest of maybe my life.
until I bring it up again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or another internet meme makes its rounds.
Which did we did we leave a team out? The Red Wings?
What?
Of why it's
What team?
Why it's so hard to the Red Wings?
Who?
The Red Wings, the hockey. They play hockey at
Oh!
this new giant
You
cathedral.
mean
for
Hockey
sports.
Town? The Hockey Towns team.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Forgot about them for a second.
Aren't they the most depressing of the four in a lot of ways?
Literally,
Because they don't recognize their own identity.
they're the Dead Wings. That's who they are right now.
Yeah, it's
Nah, it's not quite that bad yet, but
it's worse because they're overpaid and right to the cap.
Good night, everybody.
wow, just spear me right in the heart.
Can you believe Justin Abdelkader is an 11-year veteran and still on this team? Can you believe that's a
No,
thing?
I can't believe he's an 11-year veteran. That actually surprises me. I'm not lying. That's not a joke. I did not know he'd been in the league that long.
Fuck.
Is he? Is he an 11?
I don't think he's 11 years.
I'm
But
looking it up.
You might not be as
7
far off
years.
as I think, though.
7 years, maybe.
It might be more than that.
Justin. I bet the guys who do Red Wings SRD would know
Yep.
or spinning the wheels or pucking around.
How many
Yeah,
hockey
'cause I
ones
bet
are
these
there?
guys would know that.
Because I think he only started like maybe 1 or 2 years after their last cup win.
Could you imagine doing a Red Wings podcast right now?
No.
Oh, brutal.
Oh,
I got to tell you, I'm going to give a shout out to Jason Pinkham right now because I don't know how the hell you do it.
No.
How the hell do you talk about this team
no. I was talking to
once a week?
I was talking to Roger the other day about that, and I was saying that I was like, man, I don't know how these guys.
Well, draft, second round, 2005. That's the draft.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I was telling Roger, I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know. Like, we barely touch on the Red Wings. Like, we just can't do it. It just hurts.
This might be the first we've talked about.
There's nothing to say about
I
them.
have not watched a full period of hockey this season that involved the Detroit Red Wings.
I mean, we talked a little bit about it earlier, but it's just Blashill and Holland and Zetterberg. They all got to go.
You know what I love, though?
They got to go.
I do love the fact that LCA is
Empty.
I love it because you thought you were going to try and fool us.
Yep.
We got this beautiful new barn. Come down and see it.
Yep. Detroiters not that
And
dumb.
still nobody's showing up.
Nope.
Product on the ice
And I'm gonna
is
go down.
trash.
I'm gonna go down and check out a Pistons game pretty soon.
I mean, product on the floor isn't that great either, but it's better than it is on the ice.
I mean, with the Pistons, I mean, there's a 50-50 chance they win. It's not with the Red Wings. There's what, a 30-70% chance they win?
I don't know.
I mean, they might be the worst team in hockey.
They really might be. But they what are they? Only 3 points out of the third spot in the Atlantic, Dave? You would know. You've probably watched a lot more hockey than either of us have.
Garbage, though.
Yeah.
They're right there at the bottom.
Not really.
I mean, what's there to watch? I mean, it's funny. I've been getting these.
You know what you get to watch? You get to watch a bunch of overpaid veterans that can't keep up with the kids anymore, and a bunch of young talent that isn't that good.
No, I've been saying blow this thing up since 2013, and I still got to say it. It's terrible.
You know who I'm in love with, though, on the ice right now?
Who?
Even though he's had a couple of bad games recently? Jimmy Howard.
Jimmy Howard.
Jimmy fucking Howard.
Jay Howe.
By the way, since you asked the question,
Jimmy's had himself a nice year.
the only teams worse
Considering.
the only teams worse in the Eastern Conference than the Wings are the Senators by 2 points, Buffalo by 5 points. Sorry, 7 points, and that's it. Just those two.
I almost spit my beer all over the board.
And then we go to the Western Conference. See if anybody there is worse. Two teams. Arizona, who is very poor right now, doing very poorly, and Edmonton.
It's very polite of you to say it that way, Dave.
Edmonton is 1 point behind, and they have not been very good.
I'd much rather sit down and try to figure out who the fuck is going to be my Detroit Tigers starting 9.
I can already tell you. I know what it's going to be.
And then think about how bad this Wings team is.
I know exactly what
and
your
I
starting
know who
line's gonna be.
everybody is in this team. I know who all of them are, and I know how good they all are, and I just know this is terrible.
I know who your starting 9 is going to be for the Tigers. I don't know the batting order, obviously.
All right,
but I
hit
know.
me with a starting 9.
Matuk in left field, Leonis Martin in center.
Leonis Martin.
That was actually a good signing. Because they signed a couple of guys that
he
if
was
they
a highly touted prospect that never really panned out to be what he was supposed to
But
be.
he's a great defender.
He's not a bad player at all.
and Nick in right field, as you might expect. Candelario, Iggy, Dixon Machado, Miguel, James McCann, and probably you're starting. You're starting.
God, that's bad.
May I ask you guys this one question?
It might not be as bad.
It might not be as bad
And
as
then you got a bunch of pitchers.
Let me ask you this question before we go to break.
Yeah.
Because I'm not entirely sure. What did we accomplish this segment?
We just pointed out how bad the 4 pro teams are right now in Detroit. And how,
college teams are so much better, right?
and how this wonderful sports city is,
No, they 100% are.
is bleeding out because of these terrible teams.
Bleeding out.
We're slowly dying.
It's Christmas. Don't use those words.
There's nothing to watch. We're slowly dying. At least the Pistons, you can flick them on, and they're entertaining.
Sometimes. College teams are a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
Did Michigan get a little bit better?
A little bit better.
We'll talk about that. Just a little bit. We'll see how hard Geoff Mell is.
Pretty hard.
This table.
Don't tell us how hard.
This table's on an angle right now.
You just ruined the whole segment. Okay, we'll skip that segment. Go straight to the
It's on
next.
my-
We'll
it's
come
on-
back.
it's on my side.
Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. David Faze, Geoff Mell, myself, Dan Griffin. SportsRadioDetroit.com. Do not go away.
Hey, this is Brittany Wagner with Last Chance U, and you're listening to Out of Bounds Detroit Sports.
That idea ain't worth a velvet painting of a whale and a dolphin getting it on.
Seasons upon us, it's that time of year. Brandy and eggnog, there's plenty of cheer. There's lights on the trees and there's wreaths to be hung. There's mischief and mayhem and songs to be sung. There's bells and there's holly, the kids are gung-ho. True love finds a kiss beneath fresh mistletoe.
Yeah! Welcome back! Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. David Faze, Geoff Mell, and myself, Dan Griffin. Boy, we are excited to be back. To the point where we went back and listened to some old episodes and recognized the fact that this show is shit compared to what it used to be.
It's tight, like a toiga.
So if you're listening to this episode, fuck this episode. Go back and listen to episode, 74. Back when we were good.
Played games and had fun.
I like to think our show's pretty good, but it was better then.
We just like to get drunk and cry now.
Oh, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yep.
I don't need the drinks to cry. I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, Dave's married.
He's a sensitive man. His life's been over since forever phase.
Dan, take it back. Your ex-girlfriends were ugly.
Can we name that? Can we name this episode that?
Yep.
Dan's ex-girlfriends were ugly. Yep. Oh, that might get into the wrong hands. I don't care anymore.
I hope it does.
I agree with Geoff. I absolutely agree with Geoff.
You got nothing to lose, my friend. Nothing to lose.
Yeah, because you already lost them, so it's fine.
Oh, Dave. Just throwing heat. Throwing heat.
Oh, my God. Some of them still know where I live, though. So
Dave
that's
is
concerning.
back with fire. This little break did Dave a world of good.
I'm not even offended because they were ugly on the inside.
On the inside.
At a minimum, on the inside. I'll tell you what, my high school girlfriend was an angel. Ever since then, I've been paying for it karmically.
But did your parents like her?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. She's a good Catholic school girl.
What happened there, man?
I fucked it up, and I've been paying for it karmically ever since with every other bitch that's walked into my life.
Good times.
God damn it. I don't remember where I was going with this segment at all.
I think for the last 15 years of your life, God's just been playing paper football with your heart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, or yeah.
Where's balls?
Except we're at the point.
However you see it.
Both. Either way, you know how usually to make a good paper football, you'd tape the seams? Let's just say that the tape is coming unraveled.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of those two things you feel more physically than the other.
Oh, my God.
That idea ain't worth a velvet painting of a whale and a dolphin getting it on.
I don't remember where I was going with this segment. You guys fucked me all up.
We're sorry.
You are not.
No, we're not.
Yeah, I was never going to
You're like
apologize.
those. You're like those drunk friends in the back seat trying to throw the driver off, even though you don't realize that it's going to kill you as well.
Yep.
or the people in the backseat that think they know where they're going, like that they think they know better than the driver where they're going, yet they have no sense of direction at all. No, you got to take a left.
You haven't driven Uber, have you?
I have not driven an Uber. No, I've been in an Uber as a passenger
recently, like for Killer's Christmas.
Yeah, and then I did, and then I also was in an Uber that the following that Saturday as well.
What'd you get yourselves involved in?
Nothing. We just had a plan to have a good time on a Saturday. So we, rather than even driving at all, we were from our house to the place we were going, and then one of the wives of the friends that we were with was decided to be the designated driver, and it was her prerogative, and so we only had to pay for one Uber, which was always welcome.
That's fascinating.
That was great. He asked. He asked. You want the boring answer? You're gonna get the boring answer. Sort of like Jim Caldwell.
Yeah. Geoff did bring up something.
What'd you guys get yourself into? I should have just said nothing in particular.
Check the report.
Check the.
Geoff did find something interesting regarding. Geoff, let me put it this way: did this video not make just, maybe not directly, but maybe indirectly, LeBron James a lot more likable?
Oh, I enjoy it. I mean, I just think I like the kid, man. That kid.
But he
knows what's up.
But does this video that we're about to play? We won't give it away. I'll let the people hear it. But I should say audio because nobody can see it.
No,
not even me. But does this audio not demonstrate to you the fact that the NBA has a new villain?
Yeah, that's for sure. There's a lot.
Does the NBA have a new villain?
They do.
Is it not LeBron James anymore? Because I'm happy if that's the case. Because I'm tired of the LeBron James over love and over hate.
Yeah,
but this new guy.
Yeah, it's not even him. That's the villain.
No, he's kind of indirectly. People know who we're talking about.
Lonzo Ball and LeVar Ball.
I was trying to be mysterious.
Lonzo Ball is the punching bag for his father. Basically,
he's like the voodoo doll.
Yeah.
Or his father's the voodoo
LeVar
doll
can just
for him.
run his mouth, and the only one who has to pay the consequences is Lonzo.
And maybe the other two kids here in the near future. Can you believe they're fucking going to Europe?
I don't think they're paying the price. They're going to get, one of them is 16 years old, has a professional contract.
Yeah, they're only making like $4,000 a piece, and they're going all the way to Lithuania, who has like a coach that sells meat out of the back of his car. And
is that true?
Yes. And so, what do you think is going to happen over there? Like, nothing is going to happen. They're going to suck in a low-level Lithuania team.
What the fuck is going on?
Get over there and make me some money, boys.
Yeah, exactly. Go make your 8 Gs. And then he's like, it's not about the money. We're still big ballers. It's like, oh, my God. None of you are big ballers. None of you. Only Lonzo.
You want to do this, man? You're drunk.
I'm drunk. You're drunk.
Everybody's drunk. But I will say, all right, so this is a young fan.
I think I've got you potted up here.
It's a young fan. He had a specific request for LeBron James.
He loves LeBron. He's a little kid. He likes LeBron.
Was it Make-A-Wish or what?
He's just in the hospital. That's all I know. He's in the hospital. LeBron came to visit, and he only had one special request.
It goes up from here. All right. Stay positive. Keep smiling. Merry Christmas. And see the good snow coming down. It's going to be great for 2018. Ain't that right?
Yeah.
Put it there. Put it right there. That's
Can you jump on Lonzo for me?
I got you. I got you. He might not be in my way. Once he see I'm about to take off, he might move out the way. So, all right, buddy.
This kid requested that LeBron James dunk on Lonzo Ball.
The funniest part is, during the game tonight, LeBron got a pass just full speed to the rim, and Brook Lopez just bullfight pulled the Toro and just got out of the way. LeBron just threw it down.
Brook Lopez
he got
his
out,
size.
got out.
Brooke
of the way.
Lopez knew what was better for
He
him.
purposely moved. He was making a business decision.
I'll tell you what happened.
No, he's making a personal decision.
Yeah, Brooke Lopez has seen that Brandon Knight video over and over again. He knows what happens.
Yes,
he knows what happens.
He was. He would have killed him. He would have killed him. LeBron would have killed him.
That's still. I don't even care that he was a Piston at the time. That's still one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That DeAndre Jordan dunk
Yep.
on Brandon Knight, and bless Brandon Knight's little heart that he thought he was gonna get up there and try to block that the freaking dunk. This guy's 6'11". He's coming in with full force, and you're 6'4".
I agree with this decision.
And you think that somehow you're going to create some sort of an actual blockade for this person? I don't think so.
No.
Oh God,
it's a funny video every time I see it.
But that to me just demonstrates people don't like Lonzo Ball.
No, people do not like Lonzo Ball. That kid knows what's up.
I welcome the distraction for LeBron.
Yeah,
I do, because it's just I don't need to hear, a million times how much everybody hates LeBron. I get it. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I don't hate him like you do, but whatever.
I'll be honest with you. When we heard that clip before we started the show tonight, I love it just because I think that's just awesome by the kid, and LeBron's reaction is expectedly really funny.
I mean,
he's just not expecting it yet.
It's so funny.
But I don't love it because I hate Lonzo. I could care less in that regard, to be honest. I just think that's a hilarious request to make of something. That's fantastic.
Can you dunk on Lonzo?
A little sick kid in the hospital already hates Lonzo Ball. Already.
You get to meet LeBron James. All the questions you could ask him, and you ask him to dunk on Lonzo Ball.
Not, can I take a picture with you?
Yeah, not
or
like,
can I get a high five?
Not even
or
that.
will you give me a piggyback ride?
Or just can you score such and such for me?
Or will you date my mom?
Yeah.
Those things.
My mom. God, what kind of question is that?
What were you going to say, Jeff, before I so rudely distracted you with a dumb question?
I had a terrible joke, too. So.
Oh, okay.
I guess
Good.
you could steal it from me. You can have the terrible jokes tonight. Dave's on fire. I don't think we're catching up.
I know.
He's
calling my girlfriend's ugly.
He's pulled way out ahead.
We haven't made one Dave likes fat chicks joke tonight.
Well, and if we do, it's not coming organically. It has to come organically.
I'll tell you right now, it's a good thing Dan pulled out way out ahead. Or he might be with one of those fat, ugly chicks.
Wow. Wow.
We need to do this more often. We need to do Dave fucks with me more often.
I mean, I don't know where this came from.
I've always wrapped my tool in every situation.
That's a wise decision.
This is a dark cloud that came out of nowhere.
It's the snow. It's the season. Tis the season for David Faze to cut loose.
Yeah, I could come in under the cover of cumulus clouds.
Jeez.
Okay, that wasn't that good. Now let's get to the picks before Dave hurts himself.
All right. Wait, are we going to talk Michigan before?
What does the music tell you?
We're doing picks now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm taking control this time.
Whatever.
Is that what you told them too?
No, very rarely.
Okay.
I didn't mind being tied up, at least as long as I had 1 foot free. Anyway, that's a great lead into the picks, isn't it? Gentlemen, it's getting out of hand here with the picks and with the show. But specifically for this purpose, with the picks, who do you guys think's in first place?
You.
That's right!
Once in your life.
37, 22, and 1. Dave at 33, 26, and 1. And Jeff bringing up the rear at 31, 28, and 1. The last time we did the picks 6 years ago, we all had very, very good weeks. It was the last week of the college football regular season. Jeff came in at 5-0.
Ooh, nicely done.
Dave came in at 4-1.
A game.
And I myself came in at, you guessed it, 5-0.
Wow.
We picked the same games, Jeff.
Wow.
Obviously, if we both went 5-0.
Son of a bitch.
You guys got some ground to make up. This week might be the time. Whoops. I'm dropping shit. As all we can do this week It's the NFL, so I don't know why I started the college football music. Let's switch it on over.
Wow.
We actually have some good NFL matchups this week, starting, of course, in the land, on the banks of Lake Erie, as the Baltimore Ravens head to, yes, the city of Cleveland.
Good old Cleveland.
To take on the always defeated Cleveland Browns.
Mistake by the lake.
Baltimore giving up 7 on the road to the Browns. We'll start with you, Jeff Mel.
Interdivisional matchup.
What did I say we were naming this episode, by the way?
I don't know.
Dave doesn't know. Go ahead, Jeff.
Something about your ex-girlfriends. all your ex-girlfriends are ugly or something? I don't know.
Oh, I'm going to write that down.
I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. I think, even though Cleveland got Josh Gordon back, and he looks amazing for not playing in 7 years, I think they're not going to be able to do much against that Ravens defense. I'm expecting some turnovers. I don't see it to be close like against that shit Green Bay team that they got going on, or that they had going on with Brett Hundley. So, give me the Ravens to cover 7.
Dave?
Wow, it's actually tougher than I would have thought. But I think I'm going to go with Baltimore as well. I just think that this is a week where Cleveland's actually had some relatively close games, including this past week, obviously. But I agree with Jeff. I think that Baltimore defense is going to stand up to the test of shutting down, whatever offense Cleveland does have. And like you said, Jeff, getting Josh Gordon back is obviously a huge help. But I still think Baltimore's going to find a way to cover that spread.
It's going to be a cold Sunday in Cleveland this weekend, gentlemen. I'm telling you right now. Browns got to get a win.
No, they don't.
They have to win a game.
You're a liar.
And I think they will. And I believe it will be this Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. Why? Weather's not supposed to be so great. Baltimore can't move the ball for shit other than against the Detroit Lions. This is a team that won a bunch in a row against bad teams. Offense not very good.
No.
13-9. Browns. However, I will still take those points just because I'm offered them. I'll take the Browns, though.
All right, Dan.
It's got to be. They got to do it. They got to win one. We move to the Heartland as the San Diego Chargers, that's right, I said it, San Diego Chargers, head to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs Chargers. Giving up 1 on the road. We've essentially got to pick them here, gentlemen, at an AFC West slugfest. We'll start with David Faze.
Is it essentially a pick 'em?
Yeah, it's 1 point.
Chargers and Chiefs.
Chargers are getting 1. The San Diego Chargers that play in LA for some reason that I can't explain.
Ooh. This is...
Doesn't it mean Saint Diego? No, there's no way that's right.
It means a whale's vagina. This is in Kansas City?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Give me Chargers.
Sucker.
Okay.
You want me to go, Dan?
That's what I was waiting for.
Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. It's hard to go into Arrowhead and win. Alex Smith's played a little bit better. That team is still a pretty decent team. Not what we thought, but they're still a pretty good team. I'll take the Chiefs.
Talked about it last week. Chiefs have imploded. I think we had this topic on Fourth and Medium. It seems like nobody wants to win the AFC West.
Nope. Nobody.
Everybody's 6-6.
They hate it.
However, I did pick the Chargers to win that division. I think they're playing better football than anybody else in that division right now. The Chiefs have guys running out without socks after they've been thrown from a game. They've lost it. I don't know what the hell Andy Reid's doing there anymore. I got to go with Dave. I'm taking the Chargers. Go Chargers, go. We move to game number 3. Yes. This is a very interesting spread. The New York Jets, a team that started the season, I think, a lot better than any of us expected them to start the season. Hey, sounds a lot like the home team. Head to the Bayou to take on the New Orleans Saints. The Jets getting 15 and a hook on the road at New Orleans. That is a massive spread in the NFL for anybody, which I'll let you guys decide who starts this one.
You go.
That's a lot of points.
15 and a half in the NFL.
That's a lot of points.
Wow. I feel like the 2008 Lions wouldn't have gotten that big of a spread.
You know, I do think the Saints are going to handle them pretty easily, quite frankly, but God, that's I can't beat it here. I got to go with the Jets to cover that. I have to. That's just too many points. If you'd given me maybe 10 or 11, I'd have thought about it, but 15 is way too many.
15 and a half?
Well, regardless, I don't even need the hook. 15's a lot. 15
Geoff?
hooks even more.
Give me New Orleans.
Any reason why, or just...
No, just gut.
It's the Saints at home.
Yeah, it's just... They're not bad this year.
It's the Saints at home. Josh McCown died.
Yeah.
Who's playing quarterback for the Jets this week?
Nobody.
I mean,
Bryce Petty.
It hurts me a little bit.
Good old Bryce Petty.
It hurts me a little bit because I don't feel great about it, but I do for some reason like the Saints to cover this spread. I shouldn't. It's against my better judgment. I don't know if you feel the same way, Geoff, but it's a little bit against my better judgment. I'm going to take the Saints with you on this one. Saints at home against Bryce Petty. Come on! Beat them by 24. Oh, we moved to the Pacific Northwest, gentlemen. This is another slugfest. This is gonna be this is a good slate of games the NFL has this week, which I'm surprised to say. Whoops, I dropped my mouse. And I lost all the drops.
Oh, well.
I don't know why everything closed down. Anyway. The LA Rams. The Fighting Sean McVays. Hottest name in coaching right now? Come on. Gotta be Sean McVay.
Gotta be.
Yep.
The Rams had to take on the Sea Chickens. Getting 2.5 on the road. The Rams are. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I reopen the drops.
Go
ahead, Geoff.
You want me to pick?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with...
That was the most awkward moment we've ever had on the show.
At Seattle.
You want me to pick?
Yes.
I'm going to go with Seattle. I think the Rams they're skidding a little bit. That loss to the Eagles hurt. And if the Rams lose and the Falcons beat the Bucks, the Rams are actually out of the playoffs. So I'm going to go Seattle. I think it's time they're going to take that division.
Give me the spread one more time on this guy, Dan.
2.5.
Rams are
Sea Chickens favored.
Yeah. I'm going with the Seahawks as well. They've already played once this year, and I know they often say that playing the team the second time is harder, and I think in most cases that's true. And if that is, but even if that's the case, the first game was on the road in LA, and the Seahawks found a way to muck it up and get a victory with their terrific defense. And yes, the Rams are scuffling a little bit right now, and people don't really beat the Seahawks at home. Let's just be honest about this. It doesn't happen a lot, and it takes a lot to do it. So
I was distracted. Jeff took the Seahawks as well?
Yes,
he did.
It's a trifecta. I mean, you guys said it all. This is a terrible pick segment. We move to the final game of the week, and no, gentlemen, it is not involving your Detroit Football Lions.
No, you're done with the Lions, aren't you?
Because who cares? It doesn't matter. There's better games to pick. There's better games to watch. I did not watch a single down of the Detroit Lions last Sunday other than what I saw on Red Zone, which wasn't much. Jeff's New England Patriots head on the road to take on the AFC leading Pittsburgh Steelers. On the road, Pats getting 2.5.
I guess I'll go. I think Tom Brady's going to lose 2 in a row.
Yeah.
But do I think it's by more than 2.5?
It's almost a pick 'em.
Yes, I do. I'm going with the Steelers.
Way to go out on a limb there, Jeff.
What? Pick the Steelers.
I think it's going to be by more than 2.5.
I mean, it could be. I think it is probably going to be like 3. I think it is going to be a tight game. They're both good teams, but there's something up with the Patriots right now. Nothing that they won't get worked out for the playoffs, but
I'm taking Pittsburgh as well. And here's the thing. Maybe it was about 8 weeks ago or so. We talked about, is Ben Roethlisberger's career over? Is he done?
he looked rough for a minute.
Weren't the Steelers 2-3 for a minute? Or,
yeah, and then he threw 5.
I'm sorry, 1-2 for a minute?
Yeah, and then he threw for 500 yards last week.
Well, I don't know why we bother doing a show or predicting things. Ben looks pretty good. I mean, he does have the best receiver in the game.
Yeah, that helps. And
by far.
And one of the best running backs in the game. Top 3.
It's tough to pick against Pittsburgh at home. Like I said, Ben's been terrible on the road over the last 4 seasons, but this ain't a road game.
Nope.
This is a home game.
And it's cold.
You give me the Steelers in a ketchup bottle right now, it's tough to pick against them. Dave, who you got?
David Foss.
How does do that?
How does do that? Man, part of me wants to go against you guys just for the sake of going against you guys. But my gut's telling me Pitt, so I got to go Pittsburgh.
Son of a bitch.
They've just been playing well.
Jeff was hoping to make up some ground.
Yeah. And I'm going against my Patriots, so I was hoping I could make some ground up against, but it hurts. It hurts. I don't want to pick against them, but I just have a feeling it's rare Patriots lose 2 in a row, but it might happen.
You better get it in now, man. Better get the win in now, because after net neutrality takes a shit, who knows if we're going to have a show anymore.
Yep. I might just block us out for being too good. You have to pay too much to listen to us.
Too talented. We're just too talented. We got too much going on.
I like to
here.
laugh, Dan.
We are, and we are for sure open for business this evening.
We are open.
No doubt about that.
Open for business. Fact. Let me tell the world.
Are you gonna tweet it out?
I'm going to tell the world how open we are.
Like a lot of Dave's fat chick girlfriend's butthole.
Yep.
It wasn't as funny this time because Dave's been bazinging me all night. Well, my ugly girlfriends. I've seen them. They're just dogs.
Yep, he's a savage. No doubt about that.
It's been great. It's been good. It's been fun. It's been a good time. In fact, this could be our last episode ever, and that would be a good way to go out. Dave finally getting his revenge. That's what we need to call this episode, Dave's Revenge.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that down, too.
I've really been biding my time over here. Just been waiting.
Oh, man.
There is news, though, that we haven't talked about.
Wait, hold on. I got to play the sounder.
Sounder for news. That's not a breaking news.
Oh, it's breaking. On this show, it's fucking breaking. It's always breaking.
Yeah.
It's always breaking. Oh, I forgot to turn the volume up.
God, you're on your P's and your Q's
You know what?
tonight.
It's you know what? It's been a rough night. What do you have for us, Geoff Mel?
Shea Patterson of Ole Miss is now a quarterback at the University of Michigan.
Oh my God, he is!
Yeah, in case you've lived under a rock.
I prefer mushroom, but good. Good. It's
I'm sure you do
It's
prefer
happy news.
mushrooms.
Jim Harbaugh's going out there, having more sleepovers, getting more guys in here, and now they have more quarterbacks than most of the NFC. They have better quarterbacks. I'm sorry. Let me say that again. They have better quarterbacks than most of the NFC.
Nope.
Isn't that the case? National championship next year, Joe?
Paul Feinbaum, sure think so.
I mean, that must make it true because all he's done is bag Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, he really hates Jim Harbaugh.
Is it okay? Is it okay that I sit here and say like you got to show me that it works first? Like, am I allowed to say that?
I guess
because Jim Harbaugh has had his opportunities with quarterbacks that he's brought in. Not a lot, I'll admit, but a little bit of time, and none of the ones that we've seen have looked any good. So now he goes out there and makes a desperation move and goes out and grabs Shea Patterson. Now, good on you, right? Ole Miss is having some sanctioning issues, allowing students to transfer without sitting out a year. So, we think. We're not 100% sure.
Odds are that he's going to be eligible.
So Jim goes and gets him.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm happy. That's a great first step. Now you got to make it work on the field.
Yeah, I mean, you go get the best guy available that you can. But it kind of concerns me. It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, he's a very good quarterback. He's got a lot of promise, highly recruited, played very well in his games that he played at Ole Miss. But what it does tell me is that if you had a guy at Michigan, if you knew McCaffrey was going to be really good, or you knew Peters is really good, then you wouldn't have to go get one of those guys because you already know you have a really good quarterback. And yeah, competition makes the level rise.
So you think Jim is sweating in his khakis a little bit?
I just think that.
Speaking of which, this video is awesome. We'll get to that in a minute.
I just think he hasn't decided who he wants. I think neither of those guys have stood out to him to the point where he's like, I can find somebody better, and I'm going to.
So is this going to be what Jim Harbaugh does in his entire career?
I don't know.
Is he going to be that guy that just continues to go out and try to do whatever he can to supplement at quarterback?
Why didn't Penn State
transfer?
go after Trace McSorley? Or go after Trace McSorley, after Shea Patterson, because they have Trace McSorley. Well, what do they need Shea Patterson for? That's what I mean. It's like, why wouldn't these other schools? Why doesn't Bama go after Shea Patterson?
How do we know they didn't?
I didn't hear anything about that. I mean, I've been paying attention to it a lot, and really, it was here, and that's really it. I know the safety Deontay something. His transcripts didn't transfer. he wasn't smart enough to get in, so he had to go reopen his recruitment.
He'll go to Ohio State. Don't worry about that.
But yeah,
he'll get gray shirted at Alabama.
I get I'm happy. You go get the best quarterback you possibly can. You want to have 3 quarterbacks. I get it. And then on top of that, you want a guy. You want competition for your 3 quarterbacks. I get that too. It just makes me think that Harbaugh's not sold on his own guys. Because if you're sold,
that's his own fault then.
Yeah, but If you're
sold, his guys.
if you're sold on your own guys, then there wouldn't be a need to go get another quarterback.
I got news for you. They got a bigger.
I agree
problem
with this decision.
Still, anyway, gotta have an offensive line.
Yeah, but I
still gotta be able to protect your guy.
That is only going to get worse this coming season.
I don't think so.
Make no mistake about it.
I think it's going to get worse.
Because you're losing the only guy that showed any semblance of talent. First of all,
you're losing the oldest guy, and all the guys who played this year
to be expected,
presumably would be better next year.
Presumably, however, I didn't see any step forward throughout this whole season, and these are guys that played a whole year.
I will say this. Yes, the offensive line did not play well at times. Sometimes it did. Sometimes it didn't. I will say a good quarterback can make your offensive line better. A quarterback who makes decisions, a quarterback who gets the ball out quickly, makes your offensive line look better. A quarterback that can, when you're playing John O'Corn, why would you ever not stack the box? Why wouldn't you always bring pressure? Because he's not going to take advantage of you. He's not going to beat you over the top. He's not going to
like Dave against fat chicks.
He's not going to make you play the pass.
What does that beat you over the top?
Take advantage.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going really deep and going like he's not going to beat you over the top, and I was trying to figure that one out.
He's not going to do any of those things. So why would you play defense against him like that? But with a guy who's capable, confident, and can stretch plays with his feet, is a dual threat. They run the read option at Ole Miss with him. That changes your offensive line a lot. That makes your offensive line better. Same with your receivers and your running game.
So Jeff thinks they're going to be in the playoff next year.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just telling you that to discount what a quarterback can do for an offensive line, a good quarterback is, it's not fair.
Isn't it now?
I mean, if any offensive line that can get teed off on, like Michigan's offensive line got teed off on this year, it's tough. It's tough.
So you're losing your senior leader on the offensive line. Your offensive line showed that's my issue. There was no progression this year for the offense. It's one of the things we talked that I talked to Ben about when we had him on the show and we were having our little rift. That I didn't see a step forward for way too many guys on this team. Even when you're bad. Or not as good as you should have been. When you have a young team, they get better. I didn't see that with the offensive line. You think Shea Patterson comes in here and makes them that much better?
But you didn't see that. Why? Why didn't you see the offensive line get better?
I would say...
Because one guy held onto the ball for 5 seconds every time he dropped back? Because he couldn't make a quick decision?
Yeah, but
because he couldn't get out and make plays.
You're talking about O'Corn?
Yes.
Because it goes both ways, right? At first, right, John O'Corn comes in during the Purdue game, does pretty well, right? Again, I understand. It's Purdue. Whatever. Who gives a shit?
Pretty well. I mean, it's
but
kind of a...
you could see that John O'Corn had his head about him. As the season goes on, he gets hit more. He gets pressured more. He gets hurt. He, for some reason, has to throw 8 straight passes in a monsoon against Michigan State, which is a fucking coaching blunder.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that John O'Corn made a lot of problems for John O'Corn.
But I think that's what I'm saying. I think it goes both ways. I think it started with the fact that he couldn't stand in the pocket at all. And then I think we talked about this earlier in the season. John O'Corn was seeing pressure that wasn't there at times because there was so much pressure there at other times.
Yeah, it goes both ways, but I mean that you can look at it as John O'Corn creates the pressure in the first place to then worry about the pressure in the second place. You see what I'm saying?
I just want one of us to say it goes both ways again.
It goes both ways.
Okay, so Michigan. So what you're saying is that Michigan's program is bisexual.
Yes.
Okay, good. And now we can end the show.
That sounds like the way Jim Harbaugh would.
The offensive line, I think, will be better than what you saw this year.
better is relative because, God, I hope so.
Well, yeah. I don't think it was as terrible as you think they were, but yeah. They need to get a push in the run game against good teams.
They mauled people. They mauled people like fucking Minnesota.
Yeah, they mauled anybody that wasn't Wisconsin, Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State. They mauled everybody else.
I mean, they didn't maul good teams?
Yeah, the 4 good teams they played, they didn't maul. So, we'll see how it goes. That's all I'm saying. Right now, it's too early to tell whether the offensive line will be really good, but the improvement from a quarterback can help a ton. That's all I'm saying. But it's also nice to have a dual threat quarterback, not a guy who's just going to sit back there and get ready to die. He can run, save himself. Look at all the good teams in college football, all dual threats, all of them.
And then they go to the NFL, and now we have a quarterback problem in the
Ohio
NFL.
State. Yeah, but I don't care about that when you're talking about a college team. Do whatever you have to do to be good in college. Have a dual threat quarterback. You don't have to put every quarterback in the pros. I don't care if you put. I don't even care if you put quarterback in the pros. Be good at Michigan. That's all I care about. I don't care what you do in the pros.
That's rather selfish of Jeff.
I'm sorry, what?
So that's rather selfish.
Look at Ohio State and Bama. They don't care about being a pro quarterback.
Because they don't even need quarterbacks at Alabama.
Yes, they do. Somewhat.
They get the best. They get the best skill position players.
Yes, but their quarterback, that offense, that read option makes the offense go. Without a quarterback who can run and who can at least throw a little bit, the running backs aren't as effective.
Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback they've had who is a running quarterback. Otherwise, they've had a bunch of stand in the pocket guys. White boys.
Yes, but what I'm saying, right? That's it. I'm talking about right now. Right now, the read option. Everybody's running the read option. Ohio State runs the read option. Bama runs the read option. Clemson runs the read option. Basically everybody. Georgia runs, and not really. Even Michigan State is a mobile quarterback.
Yes, and they have adjusted their game plan, their playbook accordingly to the fact that they actually have a quarterback who can make plays with his feet now.
As they should.
Yeah,
and it worked out for them. So I like to see that at Michigan. So let's see some stupid face Michigan State and some Mike Leach and D'Antonio's stupid face video.
Oh my God! Did you see this shit?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm waiting for you to show me.
I gotta tell you something. As a Michigan fan, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of D'Antonio being disrespected. I'm tired of it.
What do they call him? They call him Mike.
You think that's what happens in this video?
I have no idea. Maybe.
Well, what are you referring to? Are you
Mike
referring to the whole?
Always asking him questions about Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Always asking him questions about Michigan. And it's out of market people right now for the Holiday Bowl. If I'm Mark D'Antonio, I swear to God, I might just retire. I might just walk away from this shit. Like, it's not even worth it for me.
Right.
I got Michigan State to a playoff.
What do I have to do?
Which is way better than any other Michigan State guy. Like, Mark D'Antonio retires today. He's a fucking legend at Michigan State.
Yeah.
They're building statues of this guy.
He's the best coach they've ever had.
He's definitely the best coach they've had in the last 50, 60 years. No doubt about that.
He's the best coach they've ever had. I don't count that.
You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe the... I'll just go with it. This is a California news station.
How long is the video?
You
got it teed up? You got it teed
less
up?
than 2 minutes.
I got it queued up.
Oh, all right, cool.
No, Coach, I think that first of all, college.
Sorry, but before you get there, Coach, I just want to go over this. I don't want to miss it. I know that the kind of buzz right now around you is, 2017, so everybody gets in a Twitter war. I don't want to talk about Twitter. I don't want to talk about your folks at Ann Arbor. I'll just say this: there was an auction on Tuesday at Michigan, and they auctioned off a game-worn pair of Jim Harbaugh's khakis. How much do you think they auctioned off Jim Harbaugh's khakis for, and how much do you think they sold for? What do you think the asking price was?
We get Mike Leach. He's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. It's sort of irrelevant to this conversation, really. So
really
pass
is.
on that one.
You pass. Well, so did they because it went for $0.
Because I'll start wearing khakis. I got on now, but that's just ceremonial.
Ceremonial.
They're strictly ceremonial.
Is that an intimidation factor, Mike? Is that what you're trying to do? Trying to intimidate them with those?
What
a terrible.
That is brutal.
Look at him laughing.
That,
to
the
himself.
clothes make the man, and so no, I'm trying to be as polished and mainstream as I possibly can.
Mike Leach is like, hold my beer, Mark. I got this one for you.
Yeah, why?
Like Mike Leach, who is Mark D'Antonio's opponent in the upcoming Holiday
Yeah, it's
Bowl.
like, why are you even?
By the way, look, now that you freeze frame that, look at D'Antonio's face.
Yeah.
He's got a shit-eating
He
grin.
is so thrilled right now.
Yes, he is.
That he's just like, Mike Leach just jumped on this grenade for me.
Yeah.
And I'm so past this bullshit.
God. You never get that time out of his life back.
God,
I
dude.
wouldn't even want to be asked that question. I'm a Michigan fan.
That reporter is
It's sold
awful.
for $0.
That guy is awful.
Of course, they're putting goddamn khakis.
Yeah, what do you say? And Antonio rightfully so said this is irrelevant to the conversation.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I thought that was irrelevant too because it went for $0. Oh, yeah.
Mike Leach looks like a bad high school guidance counselor, doesn't he?
Yeah. I always liked him, though.
I know.
Mike Leach is great.
Oh, I wish he coached the Lions, because even if they sucked, you get an awesome soundbite out of him.
He's funny guy.
He's entertaining as hell.
He wouldn't tell you to check the fucking report.
Man,
He's been pretty successful everywhere he's been too.
that is cringeworthy.
That was awful.
So bad. That's actually not when you pulled that up and you were started kind of this conversation. That's not what I thought I was going to hear. Not what I expected at all. I expected it to be about Harbaugh, but
Get ready for the Holiday Bowl.
That makes me
But it's
cringe.
it makes me never want to wear khakis again. I'm disgusted by my own coach. But it's not his fault though.
No,
it's
it's
not
not his
even
fault
Harbaugh's
either.
fault. It's
No.
not Harbaugh's fault. It's the media.
by the way,
it's idiocy.
Can I just say something in relevance to this
Before we terminate the podcast?
to these two gentlemen and why they were supposed to be being interviewed, which is for the Holiday Bowl? Am I wrong here?
For football? Yeah.
Supposed to be talking about football? That should be a really good football game.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about Jim Harbaugh's khakis when you have two coaches about to coach in a football game that has nothing to do with Michigan, and the football game they're going to coach in should be a very good, entertaining football game to watch?
Out of market.
When do
idiot.
those bowl games start?
This coming week. They start.
This weekend?
There might be one.
Yeah, like
Because I think
Motor City Bowl or some shit?
there's like no the
It's the
Motor
Quick
City
Lane Bowl.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Yes, and it's always the day after Christmas, which
all right.
or the Tuesday immediately after.
I know there's
Christmas.
some early ones with some bullshit teams like Northern Illinois and whatever in them. I just don't know when they start.
Yeah, they get
Dare you
really
talk about
heavy.
the Huskies that way?
They get really heavy the week
Kenny Galladay's own.
of Christmas. Yeah, the week of Christmas is when they, obviously after the Christmas holidays when they really start to pick up and start rolling. So we're getting into bowl season. It's
I
got
gotta find something to eat.
All right.
What, during the game?
And we just got to terminate this podcast.
I literally I walked in here and he was eating like a giant plate of chicken and
I know.
rice.
I'm hungry again, but I don't know if I have anything else to eat. I'm gonna figure that out. Anyway, who knows if we're gonna do another show before the holidays? We should,
Wouldn't we?
But we just never know anymore.
The holidays are a full week and a half away. We have a whole open week next week.
Yeah.
I know, but things happen.
All right.
We're out here.
Well, like you getting stuck for 3 hours in traffic?
Oh, fuck you.
Yep.
You've been
Thank
listening.
God that wasn't today.
You've been listening to Out of Bounds Detroit Sports. Dave likes fat chicks. I date ugly girls. David Faye.
Are we dating the same people?
We might be. We're Eskimo brothers. Geoff Bell and myself, Dan Griffin, Out of Bounds Detroit Sports, sportsradiodetroit.com, and we are out of here. And happy Hanukkah.
Favorite time of the year. Got past November.